Before we jump into the video, how many of you guys like to light a candle before you start cooking? Raise your hand and comment down below. Also, please disregard the time I started cooking and the time I finished because I was doing so much in between. This is an easy meal, you'll see. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be making broccoli, cheddar, and potato soup. I am using red potatoes in this soup because they're just so easy to boil. They take on a lot of flavor, and I just really love red potatoes. Those are like my favorite potatoes to eat. So right now, I'm just giving them a peel. I'm going to dice them up into fairly small pieces, and then I'm going to rinse them and give them a boil. Now that I have all the potatoes chopped into bite-sized pieces, I'm going to season the water with salt, garlic powder, and onion powder. Now that I have the potatoes on, I'm going to cover them and cook that on medium heat. Next, I'm going to add another pot to the stove. This is going to be used for the actual soup. So using my olive oil, I'm going to lightly coat the bottom of my pan with it. And then I'm going to chop an onion and go ahead and caramelize that. After the onion has been chopped, we're going to add it to the olive oil and just let it sweat down a little bit. Again, we want these onions to caramelize and just become sweet and tender. Can you make broccoli cheddar soup without carrots? I mean, I don't know. This is my first time making it, y'all, and it came out so good. So right now, I'm just peeling 2 carrots, and then I'm going to shred them down using my cheese grater. So now I think the onion has cooked long enough. It just looks so good and caramelized. So I'm going to take it out and set it aside. So I would not be the country woman that I am if I let those little onion bits go to waste. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of flour to that and make a really light roux, something to just bind and thicken the soup along with those potatoes, because the potatoes are going to thicken it as well. When you're making the gravy, roux, sauce, you need some type of liquid to put in it. You can add water, you can add heavy cream, you can add chicken stock or a chicken broth. I'll be using chicken stock, but I'll be making my stock out of water and chicken bouillon. This is the brand that I use. I just add it to my little spice jars to keep it really, really handy and at reach. So I go ahead and give that a really, really good mix. And then I add it to the flour, which has been cooking this entire time. So next up is a broccoli, and you can use broccoli, you can use broccolini, you can use any type of broccoli, maybe cauliflower. Even though that'll be considered a cauliflower soup, you can put whatever type of veggies you want in this. I just had a craving for this broccoli cheddar soup, so that's what I used. After I get all of the little florets cut off, I'm going to give it a good rinse under the water and then add it to that pot of chicken stock. Now that I have the broccoli in, I can go back to shredding my carrots because I didn't get finished doing that before the onions were done. So once the carrots are done, I'm going to add it right into the pot with the broccoli and just bring that to a really nice simmer. Now it's time for the onions to go back in. I add those in as well as a half a stick of butter. And now is the time for me to kind of season up this base. I add some black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika, cayenne pepper, which is totally optional, and Italian seasoning. once those are all in, I go ahead, give it a little stir, and then I add in my half and half. Again, my stove is on simmer. Everything is cooking nice and slow. This is also your opportunity to taste it and see if there's anything else that you need to add. For me, everything was on point. I didn't need to add anything further, but if you do, now is the time. You cannot have broccoli, cheddar, and potato soup without the cheddar cheese. So right now I'm getting ready to shred up some sharp white cheddar cheese and some mild yellow cheese, and I'm going to set this aside. Now, around this time, your potatoes should be good and tender. I go ahead and add those to the broccoli, carrots, and onion mix, but I won't be adding in all of the potatoes. I am going to reserve some to the side. I told you guys, this is the season of me using my immersion blender, okay? So any chance I get, I will be breaking this thing out. I thought I would use this to thicken up some of those potatoes. And I know I could have used the blender directly in the pot, but I wanted you guys to see how it blends the potatoes up so well. So I'm adding a bit of the soup base along with the potatoes, and I'm going to give this a good blend. Once that is done, I'm going to add it back to the soup along with half of the cheese and also some heavy cream and continue to let it simmer while I work on the sandwich. So let's jump into the sandwich portion of this meal. I'm simply frying up some chicken cutlets. I season them with a little bit of salt, pepper, onion, and garlic powder. I toss them in an egg and buttermilk mixture, and then coated them with flour and breadcrumbs. Fried them in a little bit of oil, and this is how they turned out. For the bread, I'm using some sourdough bread that I got at Aldi. Love this stuff, highly recommend. I'm going to toast it up with a little bit of butter and Italian seasoning. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of jalapeno mayo to this. I made this using some mayo, a little bit of everything bagel seasoning, and some finely diced jalapeno peppers. And now it's time to assemble the sandwich. I'm using a garden mix, which I've thoroughly washed, also some jalapeno peppers, some red onion, and some tomatoes. Y'all see how thin my baby sliced those veggies? Love that for me. Again, we're just going to assemble it, add our chicken back on along with some cheese. I kind of put it under the broiler and let the cheese melt. And look at the soup, y'all. You can't tell me this ain't from no restaurant. This is giving restaurant quality, and it tastes like it too. And just look at this soup and sandwich combo, y'all. It was everything. We ate off this for a good 2 or 3 days and worth every bite. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications so you never miss an upload. And as always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.